Good morning, students. How are you? In the previous class, we come to know how electron, protons, and neutrons were discovered. And today, we will see the properties of subatomic particles. We will revise the structure of atom. We will see atomic number, mass number, symbolic representation of an element, distribution of electrons in the orbits, that is Bohr-Barrier scheme, and orbital diagrams of some elements. Let us start with the properties of subatomic particles. Subatomic particles are electrons, proton, and the neutrons. Let us see the properties of these subatomic particles with this diagram. First one is electron. In symbolic form, it is written as E minus 1 0 or E minus 1. Here this minus shows the 1 unit negative charge and its mass is 0, that is negligible mass. In AMU it is 1 by 1840 the mass of hydrogen atom, and in gram it is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 28 gram. This is very less. Proton, in symbolic form it is written as H11. H11 is called protium, that's why it is called proton. And H11, it has some extra characteristic. It has only one electron and only one proton. It has no neutron, that's why its atomic number is 1 and mass number is also 1. It is also represented as P plus sign. This plus sign is its charge and its mass is 1 atomic mass unit. In gram it is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram. And the third particle is neutron. It is represented as n, small n, 0 1, or simply small n. Here 0 is its charge, it is neutral, and 1 is its mass. Its mass is 1 atomic mass unit. In gram it is 1.6 to 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram. Let us move to the structure of an atom. Students, in the previous class we had seen in atom there are two parts. One is the nuclear part and another is the extranuclear part. In the nuclear part there is the nucleus. Inside the nucleus there are protons and neutrons. Collectively they are called the nucleons. And in extranuclear part there are electron orbits, and in the orbits electrons revolve around the nucleus. Let us move to the next topic, atomic number and mass number. Let us see what is atomic number. Atomic number of an element is the number of protons present in the nucleus of an atom or the electrons present in a neutral atom. That is atomic number, and here it is written Z. That means atomic number is represented by the letter Z, capital Z. Atomic number is equal to number of protons or the number of electrons in a neutral atom. Here it is written neutral atom because number of protons are same in atoms or the ions, but the number of electrons are different in atom or the ions. That's why it is written neutral atom. Let us see the mass number. Mass number of an element is the sum of the total number of protons and the neutrons present in an atom. That means if we add the number of protons and the number of neutrons, we will get the mass number, and mass number is represented by the letter capital A. A is equal to a small p plus a small n, where a small p represents the number of protons and a small n represents the number of neutrons. So students, if you have to find the number of neutrons, then how can you find the number of neutrons? We can find the number of neutrons by subtracting number of protons from the mass number, that is A, or A minus Z, mass number minus atomic number. So we can find the number of neutrons. Let us move to the next topic. Symbolic representation of an element. How can we represent an element? In the symbolic form, we can represent an element as here this X, it shows the element. Here Z, it shows the atomic number. A, it shows the mass number. So below there will be atomic number and upper there will be mass number. Let us see with the example. Here C represents an element carbon. 6 is its atomic number and 12 is its mass number. So students, what information do we get from this symbol C? 6, 12. Atomic number 6, mass number 12, number of electrons 6, number of protons 6, that they are equal to the atomic number, and number of neutrons A minus Z, mass number minus atomic number, that is 6. Our next topic is distribution of electrons in orbits, that is Bohr-Bury scheme. Let us see what are the schemes of Bohr and Bury. According to the Bohr-Bury scheme, the maximum possible number of electrons in a particular cell is given by the formula 2n square, where n is the number of cells. That is, for K cell n is equal to 1, so it is 2 into 1 square, that is 2 1 ja 2. For L cell n is equal to 2, so it is 2 into 2 square. After calculating we will get 8. So in the first cell there will be 2 electrons, second cell there will be 8 electrons, third cell there will be 18 electrons, and so on. Second one, the cells are filled in a stepwise manner. That is, after filling the inner cell, electrons accommodate to the next cell. If inner cell is not completed, then electrons will not accommodate to the next cell. And the third one, the outermost cell of an atom cannot accommodate more than 8 electrons. This is very important. Even if it has the capacity to accommodate more electrons. Potassium has 19 electrons. So how can we distribute the electrons of potassium? Let us say in K cell we can put 2 electrons, in L cell we can put 8 electrons. So 2 plus 8, 10 electrons are filled. How many electrons are left? 9 electrons are left. So in next cell we can put 9 electrons. But it is not possible. According to this rule, the maximum number of electrons should be 8 in the outermost cell, and here it is 9, so it is wrong. Then what is the right electronic configuration? This is 8 2 8 8 1. That is, in K cell there will be 2 electron, L cell 8 electron, M cell 8 electron, and in the outermost cell there will be only 1 electron. Now we will move to the orbital diagrams of some elements. How can we make the orbital diagram? Orbital diagram can be made by the distribution of electrons, that is called the electronic configuration. If we know the electronic configuration, we can distribute the electrons in the different cells of an atom. Let us see with the example. Here it is carbon atom. Its atomic number is 6, so its electronic configuration is 2 4. It means in the first cell there will be 2 electrons, and in the outer cell there will be 1 2 3 4 electrons. Next example, in the sodium atom. Sodium atom atomic number is 11, so electronic configuration is 2 8 1. So in the first cell there will be 2 electrons, In the second cell there will be 8 electrons and the last electron is in the outermost cell. Similarly, you will count the number of electrons in the calcium atom. So students, you come to know about the orbital diagram. You can make the orbital diagram of different elements and it is important for you. And here is some work for you. Some questions are given. You will solve these questions and these questions will be helpful for you. And I strongly believe this video is helpful for you. But don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Have a nice day. Have a nice study.